The Anti-graft court Sandigan Bayan dismisses a civil case that sought to recover from the Marcoses an estimated 200 billion pesos in ill-gotten wealth. This allows the entire Marcos family to keep the alleged ill-gotten wealth. The case is dismissed because the documents submitted by the Presidential Commission on Good Government, or PCGG, were, quote, mere photocopies. The PCGG sought to recover an estimated 200 billion pesos computed from the wealth that exceeded the Marcoses' lawful income as public officials. From 1960 to 1984, the late dictator Ferdinand Marcos was found to have obtained a lawful income of only 8.1 million pesos after taxes. Imelda Marcos acquired a net income of only 2 million pesos as Governor of Metropolitan Manila and Minister of Human Settlements. The PCGG said Aimee, Irene, and Bongbong Code actively collaborated with their parents in confiscating and/or unlawfully appropriating funds and other property and concealing the same. This is the fourth Marcos civil case lost by the PCGG in 2019. A total of 24 civil and forfeiture cases against Imelda Marcos have been dismissed, while at least 18 are pending and one archived at the Sandigan Bayan. Former Chief of the Philippine National Police, or PNP, and now Senator Dela Rosa, says he has not received any official communication from the United States that his U.S. visa was cancelled. Politicus source says Dela Rosa's U.S. visa was revoked in May under the Asia Reassurance Initiative Act, which requires U.S. allies in the region to promote the rules of law, democracy, and international human rights conventions, and sanctions groups or persons who violate those conventions. Dela Rosa, as PNP chief, was the primary operator of President Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs from July 2016 to April 2018. Human rights groups say more than 20,000 people have been killed in the brutal campaign against illegal drug suspects. On December 11, the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee unanimously approved Senate Resolution 142 to sanction human rights offenders in the case of detained Senator Laila de Lima and extrajudicial killings in the drug war. The U.S. Senate Committee zeroed in on officials responsible for the killings and de Lima's arrest and prolonged detention. They also invoked the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act, which imposes travel bans on human rights offenders and freezes their assets. The Global Magnitsky Act also urges the Philippine government to stop the harassment and drop all charges against Rappler CEO Maria Ressa. But presidential spokesman Salvador Panelo claims the Philippine opposition and media outlets allegedly biased against the administration, quote, misled the U.S. Foreign Relations Committee into passing the resolution. Foreign Secretary Teddy Boy Locsin in a tweet calls the resolution idiotic. Detained Senator Laila de Lima scoffs at Panelo. She says, Salvador Panelo, the master of disinformation, is calling out critics for allegedly misleading the U.S. senators regarding my case. This is laughable. Does the buck stop with her? Prosecution counsel Ryan Cruz refers to Rappler CEO Maria Ressa as he directs this question to Rappler investigative head Chay Hofilenia during Hofilenia's cross-examination for the cyber libel trial Monday, December 16. Before Hofilenia could answer the question, Rappler lawyer Ted Te objects, saying the question would cast a broad net. This prompts Cruz to ask if Ressa has the prerogative to remove an article. Hofilenia says, quote, not necessarily. Sometimes she gets vetoed by other senior editors. We are a democratic organization. She also explains Ressa is not involved in the day-to-day operations of the Rappler newsroom and has very minimal involvement in publishing stories.
If they were intent on pinning down Maria and proving that she's accountable and the buck stops with her, why didn't they ask me whether she had anything to do with the story? Because my answer would have been a resounding no.
Ressa is the main respondent in the cyber libel case filed by businessman Wilfredo Keng over a 2012 article written by former Rappler researcher-writer Ray Santos Jr. The story was about the late former Chief Justice Renato Corona and his links to businessmen including Keng. Vice President Leni Robredo says she is disappointed over Drug Enforcement Chief Aaron Aquino's insincerity when they were co-chairs of Interagency Committee on Anti-Illegal Drugs or ICAD. She says Sunday, December 15, Aquino was two-faced towards her during her stint as the anti-drugs body. Robredo recalls a closed-door meeting with him where he supposedly told the vice president he needed her because other agencies do not listen to him. But Robredo was filed by President Rodrigo Duterte 3 weeks after appointing her to the position. After Robredo's sacking, Aquino said she did not make any significant contributions to improving the drug war and failed to meet with the 4 clusters under ICAD. He failed to mention the vice president served as ICAD co-chair for only 18 days. The PDEA chief previously said the vice president would fail if she will helm efforts to combat drugs. A magnitude 6.9 earthquake strikes Padada, Davao del Sur, and other nearby towns around 2 p.m. Sunday, December 15. At least 4 people are confirmed dead, with at least 6 people missing when a grocery store collapsed. The 3-story building of commercial shopping store Southern Trade collapsed in Padada, Davao del Sur, injuring 4 people. Flower vendors at a public market in Padada were also pinned by a concrete wall which fell as the quake struck. The municipal hall in Magsaysay, Davao del Sur was further damaged on Sunday, after partial damage by earlier earthquakes on October 16 and 29. The walls of St. Benedict Hospital also cracked, with the hospital van crushed by falling debris. The earthquake also caused water from a swimming pool at a hotel in General Santos City to splash out. Padada Mayor Pedro Caminero says they are still uncertain of how much damage was inflicted, but search, rescue, and retrieval teams are now using life detection and life finder instruments to aid their operations.